כל השונה הלכות בכל יום מובטח לו שהוא בן העולם הבא. בעזרת השם, today is to be up, the 15th of Vav. It's a little bit disturbing me. Everybody hijacked. As everything, people like to hijack things. To be Av, day of love, Chas v'Shalom. Nothing could be worse than to minimize a day. As we learned on the Siyum, the whole concept, the Gemara loves the reason of why it's the most auspicious day, to be Av, is because there is no more excuses not to learn Torah. Imagine this? Not a day of love, day of pairing, day of shidduchim, all the nonsense in the world. As I said, people love to make everything romantic, unfortunately. They diminish the importance of the day of reality, of facts. Fact is, Tu B'Av is a day of hopefully a person takes on himself and his heart to learn more Torah. And if not, Chas v'Shalom, we see the bracha, I'm talking in the quotation marks, a bracha. The Gemara actually curses a person who doesn't add to his learning from this day and on. There's a whole thing over there, which is very strange. But as we know, the Satan likes to make people crazy. Mitzvah number 531. Mitzvah number 531 today is going to be, we said yesterday, that there is such a concept that we rip off the head of a bull or a cow in order to awaken people to do tshuva and to start figure out why this person died in the middle between the outside of the city and the outskirts of the city. So now the Nachal, we said that this stream that's going to be, I guess, the nearest stream that has a flow of water very haste. That's why it's called Nachal Eitan. That it has to be quick river, and wherever that is, it could be any river in Eretz Yisrael, whatever, I guess the closest to this dead body. So that area was designated now. Now that became a sanctified area, and there's going to be prohibition. Number 531, we're not allowed to make any plowing in that area. You can't plant a tree to enjoy from it, eating from it. You can't do nothing in that area to make it prosperous. Because we'll see. We'll discuss that in a second. Mitzvah number 532. Mitzvah Yeshet Yefator. There's a concept of when soldiers go to war, in order. The Parshas Kitatzel Milchama discusses obviously where we go to war. There's a concept of the soldiers are actually allowed to eat trefot. They're allowed to eat anything they find, because you have to understand the siege could last who knows how long, and you're not taking a lunch break. You know, there's no lunch breaks. There's no 3 meals a day in the middle of war, in the middle of battle. So they're going in. It could take hours. It could take even days sometimes. They're in the middle of battle. People don't go to sleep. So now they're tired. They're exhausted. Sometimes they're not oriented. So Kadosh Baruch Hu gave permission even to take, besides all the food, and we know that the Torah actually alludes to marital relations as food also. And therefore, we hear, since you allow them to eat all the trefot nevilot, anything they find to eat, and they are allowed to eat. So again, apparently, now we have rules about this concept of taking a girl. A soldier goes in there, and he sees a beautiful woman, no matter who she is, even the Sultan's wife, or whatever, in the middle of the war, he conquers her, he conquered the city, he's allowed to be with her, and now that we'll be discussing what is allowed, what is not allowed. That's mitzvah number 532. Mitzvot are sponsored today. L'ilui nishmat Aharon ben Moshe, right? And B'ezrat Hashem le'avdil le'chaim l'refuah shlema l'kol Amo Yisrael b'chlalam le'Yakov ben Rachel. B'ezrat Hashem Yosef Chaim ben Mafrad, Chaya bat Leah, le'nachol cholei Amo Yisrael. Mitzvah Shlomo. Left. Mitzvah number 531. There's a prohibition of planting anything in that area where this occurrence happened, where the ripping off of the head happened. It says, this is Nahal, this is the spring or the river where the ripping of the head happened. It says over there clearly in Sefer Devarim, chapter 21, Pasuk 4, Asher lo ya'avod bo velo yizareh. Now, there's a prohibition, a strict prohibition of performing any task of planting in that area. Mishosheh mitzvah. Now, you ask the question is how long? Forever. Once it's done, we're going to actually learn. Soon right now there's going to be a metzvah. You have to erect a metzvah. You have to erect like a commemoration commemoration, like a stone or something that says, here happened עגל ערופה. We'll see in a second. בשושי המצווה, מה שכתבתי בסדר הזו, במצוות ערף הרגלה, הסה האחרון שבסדר. Okay, it's already told you, mitzvah number 531 discusses the whole concept of ripping ripping the head of the cow, and the purpose of that mitzvah was in order to get people to awaken, to come forward and tell us what do they know about this dead body that they found.
So who
We said yesterday the Beit Din, the Rashi Kahal, the people that are in charge. Okay, now עניין הרציחה, שעניין העריפה לפרסם עניין הרציחה כדי לעורר ההמון על הדבר. I guess that this is a very harsh. Again, we're talking about very delicate people. Am Israel, the Jewish nation, is the most delicate of the delicates. Right? Some even say, why did the root have to come from the Goyim? Because a Jewish king cannot be a Jewish king. Cannot be a king. A straight blood Jew can never be a king. Yeah, a king, again, a king with just straight blood of a Jew from Zerah, Abraham Avinu, cannot be a king. Why? Because they're Adinim of the Adinim. The most gentlest individuals in the world are the Jews. So therefore, I'm just telling you, some explain that's why a root had to be Goya, coming from the Goyish nation. You have to have the Achzariyut of a Goy to be a king. To be a king, you have to have some element of Achzariyut. Coming from root, no? You come from root? Root, from where came from? רות הייתה גויה. זה אחד מהאקספלניישן, זה אחד מהתירוצים שהמלך צריך להיות אכזרי. מלך has to be a harsh person. He has to be able to enact. Again, same thing I said. You have. No, that's why he did the Avirah. That's why he did Avirah, yes. Shaul HaMelech was not from Achzariyut. He didn't have it in him, so he had mercy. That's right. That's exactly what it is. That's not my words. Okay, Habibi. That's the Pirash of Chamim. So now we have to. Can I finish? So now it's a very hard thing for Jewish people to do things that are not normal. Ripping the head of an animal and making a whole big deal of it. Yes, in order to be mashpia on the hearts of the Jewish people, this fear and this concept of being careful. How did you allow this Jew come out hungry from your town? Yeah, it's not pashut. Not pashut. It's an obligation. Achnasat orchim. What is achnasat orchim? If somebody moved into town up to 12 months before he lives there, he still has all the dinim of Boreach. Has all the dinim of Boreach. You have to treat him with white gloves. It's not such a simple thing. It's an obligation on the community. That's a local community to greet guests, to greet newcomers. Not a simple thing. Where I come from Russia. You know what they do with Russia when you come there as a new neighbor? You know what they do to you? They give you up with a beautiful, beautiful bread loaf, and they give you food, and they greet you. That's the way it's supposed to be. What does the Torah say? Where do you see that in the Torah? Asher lo kidmu lachaim balechem u'b'mayim. That's how you're supposed to greet guests. You're supposed to care for them. Not to be I'm fine. Who cares about the guests? I ran away. I moved to a town. That said you have to take care of yourself. Somebody tells me people who run the town write letters. You hear? They wrote letters. Don't come to our town unless you know how to take care of yourself.
Where?
Where? Lakewood. That's where. Yes. Lakewood, publicized to everybody, to the whole world. Don't come to our city unless you know how to take care of yourself. Make sure your children are in schools first. Who talks like this? Not Jewish. Yeah, Jewish are very careful, very katinim, so soft, gentle people.
In Morocco we have.
In order to instill into the hearts of the Jewish people to do something out of ordinary. וגם מניעת העבודה והזרוע שם והזריעה שם. So therefore, the rabbis forbid us to do any labor there and not even plowing there. לעולם מן הטעם הזה בעצמו היא לפי הדומה על הצד הפשוט. No, now we don't even, can't even plan that. כדי להזכיר לעולם בלב כל עוברי דרך כי על דבר שנרצח איש אחד בדרך נהרפה העגלה במקום ההוא מנשאר ערב לעולם. That area is the area where a Jew was murdered, huh?
Prohibited?
Forever. But it has to be a memorial there. You have to make a memorial that everybody passes by sees it. ויעניו לבבם עם זה להרחיק עניין הרציחה מאוד. Therefore, in order to have this concept, what does it mean? Killing a person. ואם תקשה בטעם זה כי הנחל לא מקום זרע, if you're going to say, wait a minute, the river, nobody plants by river anything anyway. נשיב שראוי הוא לכך אחר שתתמנעו התורה מלזרוע בו. People don't plant there. You're right. Maybe the earth is not so strong, so people are afraid to plant. But in reality, people, the Torah tells you prohibition. That means it is fit to have plants. Okay, and sometimes you have those areas where you know by the rivers or by the lakes, whatever it is. Still, there's fruit trees. People plant. They have it. So if the Torah tells you don't, that means it's possible, even though it's not a common practice. People don't have gardens by rivers. Nobody plants tomatoes, and people usually have it in the fields where there's not so much water. They bring in the water, right? But Nachal, don't forget this is not a regular stream. It has to be Eitan means strong.
Israel, if you go in Nachal Amud, you have tons of
Strong flow.
fig.
Is it by strong flow? That's what he's talking about, specifically strong flow. I don't know. Okay. דיני המצווה מה שאמרו זכרנו לברכה, מה זריעה בגופה של קרקע, אף עבודה שאסורה תורה היא בגופה של קרקע, כגון חורש וחופר וכיוצא באלו. Okay? You're not allowed to do anything with that field. You cannot even plow it, you cannot make it straight, nothing, you cannot work with it. אבל מותר לסרוק שם פשטן ולעשות שם כל עבודה שאינה בגוף הקרקע. So let's say you want to put a shed over there to start, for your business. What is it called? A lumberyard. You want to do a lumberyard? You're allowed to. Anything that's not related to the karka, to the land, you're allowed to. If you're just sitting on the land, you're occupying the land. But land itself, you're not allowed to work in that area. Let's say you manufacturing. Where's all the manufacturing? By the waters. The least business. People cannot do structures, houses over there. Nobody puts houses by the river because in China it's crazy. That's why you see Taiwan, all those crazy, everything, a little bit of water. Just doesn't really watch
to the north here, you can see all the houses by the rivers.
What?
If you're going north, like in Maine or
by the rivers or just like this ocean, right outside? Rivers, like water going through.
They have it. Griffin Road.
Yeah, what?
All the Canadians, they have the 10 house. You see.
No, that's a lake. You're talking body of water. Or like over here also there's ocean. It's not a real ocean. It's like body of water. It's not moving. No, this is talking about moving. When you have moving, only I think in Taiwan and China I saw that they have by
flash
big
floods and
they're like rivers or just overflows and it's gone. Okay, now let's see. Anybody went ahead and wherever this occurred, there's a monument, and he says, you know what, I need this land. Nobody owns it anyway. Let me plow some vegetables, fruits, and everything. Anybody who does any ibud on any work on that land gets lashed. He gets a warning. If he doesn't listen, give him a lash.
But the city they're talking about.
What?
The city they don't let you.
No, we're not talking about city right now. Habibi, this is you're in the desert. You're in some Africa over there. Who knows? The Gemara, the Makot, page 22 says, "Sham mechovei malkut." So it says anybody who plants in this area gets lash. Okay. Now, okay. Now, mitzvah number 532. Mitzvah din yafat tor. You went to war. שנצטווינו באשת יפתור לעשות לה כמשפט הכתוב בפרשה הזו. So this parasha discusses specifically, and there's a lot of drushim why the Torah allows when we go to war for soldiers to grab nice girls and do whatever they want with them. Okay, but since they're allowed to do whatever they want with them, related to maritable relations, but certain rules and prohibitions, and that's what this mitzvah comes from. Let's see. Zusha Neymar. It says like this, chapter 21 in Devarim, pasuk 11. You are conquering this land, And you see a beautiful girl. Obviously, sultans and kings, they have beautiful wives, because that's that's actually the creation of the one of the purposes of creation of the woman. As we learn in the Gemara on Tanit, the whole beauty of the whole purpose of a woman is the beauty. The whole purpose. That's what the beautiful girls say. The ugly girls say no. The whole purpose of a woman is to have babies. So that's the difference. Machloket deot. Beautiful girls say the purpose of a woman is a beauty. Ugly girls say the purpose of a woman is children. Okay, let's not get into that part now. But anyway, so now you see over there, Yefat Toar, you went there, you conquered the land, and then you see a beautiful girl. So obviously the halacha is talking about that she's beautiful in his eyes. Sometimes you see a girl has a nose like this, and the guy likes her. In his eyes, she's beautiful, right? It's a whole big machloket. It's a big machloket in the Gemara. How do you dance in front of Kala? Beit Shammai says she has a big nose. You have to say the truth. You can't say lie. And Hillel says no. You have to say she's beautiful. So the Shammai asks, what do you mean? You're a liar. She's an ugly nose. Why do you say she's beautiful? No, Hillel says no. She's beautiful to him. In Hebrew, it's called the famous statement, Al ta'am v'reach en litvakeach. And the desires and the pleasures, you can't argue. This one has this pleasure, this one has that pleasure. There's no argument. V'inyan hatzivui. Let's see what's the dominant. Yes, what do you want to say?
You said you go to the Milhama.
Let's just learn the halachot and then we'll discuss it better. Let's see. ועניין הציווי בה, שיבאנה הישראל אל ביתו ויצווה אותה לגלח ראשה ולגדל ציפורניה ולחסר מעליה הכסות הנאה שהביא בביתה. So now, usually a girl, as he said, she wants to satisfy her husband, as normal girls should. They don't dress beautifully for work. They get dressed very beautifully for their husbands, right? So now what happens is the guy came into the war, to the town, he conquered the town, he killed everybody, all the men, and he sees this beautiful girl. He takes her. So the halacha is, what he's supposed to do now? Now that he used her for his pleasure, he's bringing her home. Obviously, she's not an animal. And don't forget, this is a Jewish boy. Who is this? Who are we talking about, by the way? We're talking about Rav Ovadia Yosef. Just let you get your mind straight. Nobody goes to war according to the Torah unless you're Rav Ovadia Yosef at minimum. I'm telling you, not 18-year-old spendels. And 18-year-old boys don't go to war. It has to be a tzaddik, tahor, v'kadosh. A married man with wife and children at home. And has to be a big Talmid Chacham. Big. No avirot. That's right.
To go to the war?
Yes.
Only the young people, they go 18 years.
Huh?
Only the young people.
That's what you think. Anyway. Again, Habibi, we're all, Shlomo, we're all being brainwashed. This is wrong. It has to be a Talmid Chacham.
Who make the milchama?
Yeah. Of course.
אבל היום,
Hayom, I don't care about Hayom what they do.
היום בחור צעיר, לא כמו זקן, יש לו יותר כוח.
Shlomo, I don't understand you. How big you think the Hanukkah army was, the Maccabim? How big? How big was the army?
I know you told me.
How big?
I don't know.
Between 9 people to 13 people. That was the whole army of Maccabim. How many people did they kill? Yes.
I don't know.
No? The smallest number that I heard, there was 2 million, smallest. 2 million Jews. They killed 2 million Jews, by just to let you know. Maccabim, yes. Okay, those are the 2 million Jews that were implementing the Goyish laws in the country. Yes. 13 Jews, that's all. HaKadosh Baruch Hu fights the wars, not you. So what are you concerned about? So now, this is the man, he went inside there, Rav Ovadia Yosef, and he found the girl. Okay? So he did the maaseh with her. Now, you can't just throw her like a shmata. Bring her back. Now we give him a chance. He brings her back. What is he supposed to do? Supposed to, first of all, change her clothes. She has to put sack clothes. Not wearing those beautiful clothes anymore. Because in the middle of war, when he conquered the city, she was beautifying herself, Either one reason, to be beautiful to her husband, and another reason is to be beautiful to the captor. Like the Germans in Machshema, when they came to Poland, all the Polish girls became friends with Germans. As soon as the Russians came in, they all became friends with the Russians. To save us, to stay alive. What are you going to do? That's nature. So what are you going to do? So now, this girl, she gets to his house, they cut her hair. Remember, the most beautiful part of the woman's body is her hair. Okay? So they make sure that she becomes bald, and her nails. Today, I don't know why. Today, everybody actually likes long nails. Over there, we got let her nails grow. Looks like in the time of this is 3,300 years ago, right? At the time when the Torah was given to us, it was a disgusting thing to have long nails. Today is like a pleasure. ולהסיר מעליה חסות הנאה שהביא מביתה לשכן דרכן של גויים ארורים שבנותיהן מתקשטות במלחמה לזנות. That was the way that's the way there was the goyim acting. As Bilam told Balak, you want to win against the Jews, there's only one way to win against the Jews. What is the way? To send your beautiful daughters to do znut with the soldiers, and because this Rabbi Wadi Yosef Chas Shalom, a person like that level is going to do Avera, now you could kill him. Till then you can kill him. They're all holy. That was the whole point. So now this person, when he brings this girl to his house, let her suffer and cry and mourn her parents 30 days. אלו הם הדברים המפורשים בכתוב בדין שטיפת אור, זה תורת אוזיו. ומן הדומה שעל כל האלה יבוא חיוב העשה. So now it's an obligation, mitzvah deoraita, to allow all those things to happen to this girl. He must perform all those things. Not to respect her, we'll see, as the Torah tells you, to see if he really wants to marry her. And by the way, it's very important to point out what happens after. The Torah tells you what happens if you take a girl because of her beauty. What happens? If you take a girl because of her beauty, don't cry tomorrow if you have bad children. So he tells you right away in the next parasha, it discusses ben sorer umoreh, a child who goes against the parents. It's talking about because of this. A man who marries a girl for her beauty. Yeah. For her beauty. If you marry her specifically for that, no problem. Don't be upset with consequences. What's the Tomeret? Yes, what do you want to say again?
When you go to the war, you see beautiful girl. You marry, you can take her with that lady.
Yes, well, yeah. That's what David HaMelech. David HaMelech had a whole army of such soldiers. Oh, by the way, those are the strongest soldiers.
When you go to the army.
Again, listen to me. Listen to what I just tell you. Shlomo, listen, Shlomo. David HaMelech had like this children. David HaMelech had a lot of children like this, and they were all the strongest soldiers in the army. David HaMelech in the middle of war. How many wars he had? He had
all his life.
All his life he had wars.
Yes.
And had a lot of girls.
Yes.
They were there. And the Gemara says that those children were the strongest.
Stronger.
Okay? They were the strongest. Forget, remember, what happens with war? You have adrenaline. You know what adrenaline is? Your כל הגוף is מתחמם, מתחזק. אז עכשיו, הזרע הזה שיוצא שם זה הכי חזק.
אבל קראתי, דוד המלך נפטר young because the war. שני אנשים.
Didn't die young. 70 years is not young.
70, of course young.
מה?
בזמן ה-70 זה. דוד המלך נפטר יום ושלמה המלך. מי ששלח כל החיים שלו במלחמה, נפטר. גם שלמה המלך, הרבה נשים.
What age? 52. Shlomo Melech is 52. Not that's okay. That's okay. That's not why. That's one of the explanations. That's one explanation. I'll tell you a different why. Shlomo Melech should live longer than his father. Question. Given the same he should not rule more than his father. He ruled 40 years. Okay, let's just put it aside right now. That's not part of the discussion. This is the point over here. בשושי מצווה אמרו זכרונו לברכה, לפי שלא התירה התורה יפת אור בשמיעה, אלא כנגד יצר הרע. The whole purpose of this allowance for getting a beautiful girl because יצר הרע. Right? So Torah tells you to stop the יצר הרע, שאם לא התירה, כתוב שישאנה באיסור לתוקף יצר לב, אדם רע בעניין החשק. Because the big desire right now, remember, in the middle of war, to come down and all those things, he will take her anyway. So the Torah tells you, okay, be with her. But remember, even if you're going to be with her, you have to know that there's an outcome.
How come David HaMelech he read the Torah?
Huh?
How he did it?
Don't worry about it. David HaMelech, when you get to David HaMelech's stage, let me know. דיני המצווה, שם זכרון וברכה, שאיש שטיפת תואר, בין בתולה, בין בעולה, בין אשת איש. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Once you kill her husband, or even if her husband is still alive, even let's say the Sultan ran away, and you come into Garem and you have 500 women over there, and you have 500 soldiers, they take each go. No problem. Why? Why is that allowed? Because by the Goyim there is no marriage. There is no halachot ishut. They don't have halachot of ishut.
Yes.
No, only so there's machloket. Okay?
It's worse. Goyim inside
Okay, you understand, but we talk about right in the middle of war. It's telling you, it's not today. Why you jumping today? You think this mitzvah? Has v'shalom this mitzvah today. There's no such a concept. Oh, I took over. You know, the guy buys a business. Moshe. The guy buys a business. Now he thinks he bought all the secretaries. Shem Rachem Aleinu. Some people are crazy. I have to say it. The guy, he merged with another company. Now he thinks he owns all the secretaries. He can do whatever he wants. As v'shalom. מה קרה לך? נגיד אסור זה. בזמן שישראל על אדמתן, this is talking about only in ארץ ישראל. כי אז היה להן רשות ויכולת בידם להילחם. Only then we allowed to wage war. This is only during war, which is allowed war. ועובר הזה ולא עשה מעשים שזכר וביטל עשה זה, a person who goes against and he doesn't fulfill everything that this mitzvah commands, there's many halachot we didn't cover, but we're just giving you a little taste of it. Have a wonderful day. If you have to go to work, make a lot of money without any headaches.